In the vast stretches of the African savanna, beneath the open sky where the sun cast golden hues on the earth, lay the town of Umbele. It was a place blessed by the ancestors, where the earth was rich and the people's hearts were even richer. The town thrived in ways few outsiders could comprehend. Umbele had no towering skyscrapers or sprawling highways, but it had something far more valuable: its spirit. The people were craftsmen, farmers, musicians, and healers. Each family had its trade, passed down from generation to generation like precious heirlooms. The elders were the keepers of wisdom, the youth were its protectors, and the land was their life source. The people of Umbele lived in harmony with nature, knowing that their soil held secrets. Beneath the surface of their farms, rivers, and forests, rare minerals lay hidden, glittering like stars in the darkness. They had always known the land was special, but they did not dig deeply, for to them, the earth was a sacred being, not something to be exploited. They understood that their wealth was not in riches alone, but in the balance they maintained with their world. Their market square was always alive with the sound of drumming and singing, the air thick with the smell of spices and roasting meats, and the hum of life vibrating in every corner. Travelers from distant lands came to trade, to marvel, and to learn. But one day, the wind brought with it something ominous. A distant murmur had grown louder, a murmur of strangers who had heard of Umbele's wealth. These foreigners came not for the people's songs or stories, but for what was beneath their feet. They arrived under the cover of nightfall, their ships docking quietly on the riverbanks like predators approaching their prey. At dawn, they marched into the town, dressed in fine garments and speaking the language of wealth and progress. They called themselves friends of Umbele, and their tongues were smooth, their words like honey that dripped into the ears of the elders. They promised great things: roads that stretched to the horizon, buildings that touched the clouds, machines that could turn soil to gold. All they needed, they said, was permission to dig just a little. "Let us tap into the minerals beneath your land," they whispered. "In return, we will make Umbele the richest town in the world." The elders were tempted. They had never seen such wealth. Gold coins gleamed in their hands, and the prospect of more shimmered before their eyes. They began to talk amongst themselves, considering the foreigners' offer. But in their eagerness, they did not see the hunger lurking behind the strangers' eyes, the greed that lay beneath their promises. Among the people of Umbele, there was a young man named Jabari. He was not a man of title or wealth, but he was known for his heart, a heart that beat with the pulse of the town itself. Jabari had grown up listening to the tales of his ancestors, hearing the drums that spoke of unity, pride, and protection of the land. He had seen the foreigners' eyes that did not care for Umbele's culture, only its minerals. He knew their words were sharp spears hidden beneath soft blankets. Jabari stood before the elders as they debated. His voice, calm but powerful, rang out in the council hall. "These men come with silver tongues and promises of wealth," he said, "but they are lions dressed as lambs. Once they have what they desire, they will leave us with nothing. Our land is not theirs to take." The elders, their hearts already swayed by the foreigners' gold, turned on Jabari. Some accused him of being young and of not understanding progress. "You speak of the past," one elder said, "but we must look to the future. They offer us things we cannot build alone." Jabari stood firm. "We are not alone," he said. "We have the strength of our ancestors, the wisdom of our traditions. Our future is not in their hands, it is in ours. If we give them our land, we give them our souls. They will dig deep, and when the earth is hollow and empty, they will leave, and we will be left with nothing but dust." Some elders, their eyes still clear, nodded in agreement. They saw the truth in Jabari's words. But others, their vision clouded by greed, were determined to accept the offer. A rift grew in the town, those who stood with Jabari and those who were blinded by the foreigners' promises. As the days passed, tension gripped Umbele. The foreigners, sensing division, grew more aggressive. They began buying off the greedy elders with more gold, secret deals made in the shadows. They spread lies among the people, whispering that without their help, Umbele would be left behind, a relic of the past. But Jabari, unshaken, gathered the youth and the people who believed in the strength of their land. Under the moonlight, they met in secret, planning. "We will not let them take what is ours," Jabari said. "Our land is sacred. Our unity is stronger than their gold." And so, the people of Umbel prepared for the day of reckoning. They did not carry swords or shields, but they armed themselves with the truth, with the power of their ancestors, and with the knowledge that the land belonged to them and no one else. The drums of Umbel beat through the night, a rhythm of resistance that stirred the hearts of even the doubters. On the day the foreigners were to finalize their claim to Umbel's minerals, the town gathered in the square. The foreigners stood tall, expecting the elders to fall in line to sign away the land. But before they could speak, Jabari stepped forward, his voice booming across the crowd. "We are the children of the soil," he declared. "Our roots run deep in this land, deeper than any treasure you seek to take. You come with your lies and your gold, but we see you for what you are: thieves, dressed in fine clothes, carrying chains behind your backs." The crowd roared in agreement. The youth stood with Jabari, their eyes burning with defiance. The elders, who had once been swayed by greed, now felt the weight of their betrayal and hung their heads in shame. The foreigners, seeing that the people were united and that their sweet words had failed, grew desperate. They tried to speak, but the people of Umbel would not hear them. With no choice left, the foreigners left, their ships sailing away, their dreams of plundering Umbel's land shattered. The town had stood firm. The people had chosen unity over greed, their land over false promises. From that day on, Umbel became known not just for its riches but for its strength, its spirit, and the courage of a young man named Jabari. And as the sun set over the savannah, the drums of Umbel echoed through the land, telling the story of a town that refused to be broken, a town that knew its true wealth lay not beneath the earth but in the hearts of its people. In the years that followed, Umbel flourished like never before. The town grew, not because of foreign gold or promises, but because of the strength and wisdom of its people. The youth, inspired by Jabari's courage, became leaders in their own right, safeguarding the traditions and the land passed down by their ancestors. The once greedy elders, humbled by the defeat of the foreigners, worked to rebuild the trust they had nearly destroyed. They too found redemption, learning that true wealth came from the unity of the people and the power of the land they cherished. If you enjoyed this story of resilience, culture, and the power of unity, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Folktales of Many Tribes. Hit the notification bell so you never miss a new story. Share this tale with someone who needs to be reminded that true wealth is found in the strength of a united people. Thank you for joining us, and remember, our ancestors' stories live on in us. Until next time.